Hello, 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 Fernando Vossa. I'm so excited and honored to have you on this show. Excuse me. I've known Fernando for a few years, and I could say that he's my mentor and my friend. I'm honored to call you friend. And I could truly say that you have expanded, excuse me, expanded my consciousness in a big way. And I can't wait to share you with the listeners, the audience. So I'm asked, please go ahead and introduce yourself. And I know that you pretty much can control the whole conversation. So please go ahead. Feel free to.
Thank you, Sharon. Let's just clear that throat chakra, open up that
Yes.
energy center so there's no hesitation there.
Yes.
I'm excited to be with you again here on Expanding Consciousness. And today we're going to be sharing this latest project that is a culmination of research for several years. And this is about body coherence. I have experienced 3 years right now of being without any plant medicine, no smoking weed, doing any kind of psychedelic, and also no alcohol. And on top of that, no pharmaceuticals. And I'm 60 years old now. And, and for a man my age to not have experienced diabetes, high blood pressure, not have visited a doctor, I haven't stepped foot in a hospital for, let's just say, 3 decades.
Wow. Nice.
That already puts me in a very rarefied category of humans on this planet.
Yeah.
Most men my age, and I'm not going to speak necessarily for women, but statistically would have already experienced some level of serious issue by this age, not to mention just being alive. And I want to share that because that is a kind of coherence at this moment, because there seems to be a script that we have followed on aging. And my mother is 86 right now. And with great compassion and love to all of our seniors at that level, to completely create a whole new description of what it's like to be a human on earth at this age. Let's just say someone is in their 50s right now, feeling into what is it going to be like in my 60s. It's difficult to describe to someone a decade ahead. And I'm sharing this because this hits close to home to many of us right now.
Yeah.
So that's just on the physical health side of things. Because many of us who have subscribed to aging in the traditional matrix allopathic medicine way, we'd already be taking our little box of pills, and every day you got to take your prescription, and then you're subscribing to all of the issues, having to go to the doctor and taking care of you and so forth. One of the major themes we're talking about today is how to visualize our lives a decade ahead and 2 decades ahead. This is material I wish I would have said to myself when I was in my 30s and 40s, how to prepare. The other one is the financial side. To have money to retire, that statement right there has a lot of static to it.
What?
And part of this is to create conscious wealth for ourselves, to create a destination for us to be at this age here on earth. What are we creating? What are we visualizing, desiring in our hearts to have happen in this reality? Because that wasn't an option either for our parents. Our parents really did not have the influence in this reality. And I'm sharing this with great compassion for that generation, right? So we're going to step out of the baby boomers, Generation X, Y, Z. All those destinations are not, we didn't make up those words, right? To
Right.
have coherence of your body, is to have coherence of the whole self, of where we are right now in this reality as it is,
Yes.
which is different than what I used to do. I identified as being a biofuturist, always thinking about the future. That was exciting. That was my favorite destination. It was really an escape, a running away from what is right now in my body in front of me. What are the realities of being here on earth? Is that sounding like an interesting opening?
I love that. And it's right up my alley. And if we'll have time, I'll share why.
Of course. So the third part of this is to be very detailed and honest and clear. Exactly how do I wish to live right now on this earth? What should my house look like? My life, my daily routine, my regimen for my body. If I was to plan ahead, so that by the time I get to the point where I want to, in quotes, retire, I don't even like that word. The re and the tire, it's like a tire that you're going to put a new covering on it, like those old tires from the trucks that they're going to retire. And
Yeah.
that's not an image. When visualizing, if I look around my life right now, is there anything right this moment, my house, my way of creating wealth, the healing modalities in my life, are those supporting where I want to be in 10 years, in my 70s and beyond? And the answer is no. There's not a lot right now present except my state of awareness. That is about where I'm starting from. All right. So now we're going to jump into the scientific consciousness and quantum physics side of things, because this is part of where the research is going on body coherence. So I'm going to be sharing a few images here,
Nice.
and I need to send you a request to do my screen share.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see this image
Yes. Body
here?
Coherence Observatory. I love that.
Yes. That's the name of a project. And I'm going to reduce that name a little bit. I was thinking of calling the Coherence, just body coherence, kind of like Bohemian.
Yes, I love that.
And the vision is to create an instrument, an actual tool, kind of like when we think about a telescope. And I'm sitting here in the big island of Hawaii, where we have some of the great telescopes of the planet on the top of Mauna Kea, the volcano. We have the Keck telescope and many other observatories, solar observatories, and so forth. Where do you know right now that you could visualize the fields of the body, the energy of the body? We're used to MRI imaging and medical imaging for that's looking for issues, that's looking for problems.
Right.
So we're going to share a little bit about what this is about.
Nice.
This is an image of a resonance pattern. It's like a picture of the field that is coming from a particular substance. And I can't remember what this is. It's called a diffraction pattern, an X-ray diffraction. You take an X-ray, an actual beam of X-rays like a laser, and point it at a particular crystal. And when that crystal spreads that beam out, it makes a three-dimensional image. And these are pictures of coherence fields, meaning a red laser that is moving through a little hole, an aperture, and the resulting image that comes out of it is this is the picture of it. It's like the famous double slit experiment in physics, where you keep shooting a beam through these and it makes all those electrons and photons make
Right.
a pattern. This is taking a picture over time. what I'm sharing is that we have the capability right now to minutely and very detailed image light, coherent light.
Wow.
The other thing that we have right now is the new sphere projection systems. We have one in Las Vegas, the famous Las Vegas sphere.
Wow.
And we have them in LA also. There's the Cosm is in LA. It's a smaller one. And there are these buildings that look like giant spheres that inside they have a theater. It's like the new IMAX theater.
Wow.
So we have the ability to create architecture that does 360-degree projections around you.
Mhm.
So now I'm going to ask a different question.
Yeah.
And this is about our bodies. And you've covered some of this in our courses,
Yeah.
the holographic human from cell to soul,
Yeah.
where we went into detail over 6 months and over several years talking about all of the different gifts we have in our body. And I'm combining those three worlds that I just mentioned, the understanding of coherent light, the ability to create advanced architecture for projecting light, and what is our body doing right now? How is it projecting light? So when in the consciousness field, we talk about the light body.
Mm.
I'm one of those researchers and futurists that's saying, what does that light look like exactly? And could we create organic technology that can reveal that light to us?
Mm. Good question.
Yes. And this is some of the illustrations from past courses, images that I've created, projecting rays of light from the understanding of having body centers of light like chakras.
Yeah.
Um, and we're evolving that understanding. So one of the questions I ask when we see these instruments, this is the formation of one of the newer sphere projection systems. I think this is being built in Brazil. And it's kind of like the new thing, like building a ballpark stadium, a football stadium, or an iconic entertainment venue, like an IMAX theater. Well, this is the new thing in cities. You're going to see these sphere projections systems everywhere in big cities because it's like the new attraction.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a picture from the big island of Hawaii where I am right now of the lava. The
Mm.
what happens to that plasma liquid rock that comes out of a volcano and then it cools, right?
Yeah.
And I'm studying for the past year the effects of lava on the body and the mind and consciousness.
Oh,
How
interesting.
does this lava, which is the substance that everything is made up of, every single thing above the surface of the earth is made up of this stuff: cars, cities, bodies, biology, living systems, everything is made up of this. How that's a self-realization right there.
Yeah.
So let's say on a path of consciousness and awakening to expand my consciousness. And one wanted to learn how to create planets. Let's just say it's their curriculum to go to school to learn how to create planets. Well, there's planetary archaeology and physics and uh, geology and so forth, but really, we're talking about the spiritual version of that. Who is the master teacher of planetary creation? Well, one being that you can talk to are volcanoes.
Mm.
You ever thought about who's the master, who's the teacher, the mentor, planetary? And how about if you're going to create civilizations, a new civilization, if you wanted to say, well, in my next 10 years of my life, I would like to create a new civilization. I want to live in a place where the people, the consciousness, the cities, the technology, all of it was part of my plan for this body, for my presence. Is that a question that college students ask when they go to school right now? It's not, we don't have a way to formulate that kind of clear thinking. This is what I mean about being coherent, clear.
Yeah.
And
Very.
as somebody who's standing in that kind of clarity, because when I go to groups right now, if I go to a place like a festival, a shopping center, a public space,
Yeah.
how many people standing in that public space right this moment have a level of clarity? Most people that I see are on drugs right now. They're on pharmaceuticals. I don't have a number, but if I was to intuit the number, I would say 60 to 75% of people around me are on some kind of medicine, some kind of consciousness altering substance,
I would say even more.
possibly, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
all of the serious stuff,
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the serious
right?
stuff. Yeah.
Like
Got it.
drugs,
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals, painkillers, amphetamines, right?
Yeah.
That when you're in that state, and I'm saying this with respect because we're all going through whatever, you
Yeah.
are not able to ask these kinds of questions when you're in that state. You're in that chemistry to look at the surrounding world. And here I'm just showing some of the shapes of lava
Wow.
when it's flowing. One of the things that happens on the island here is not long after the lava cools, do plants start growing on it.
That is fascinating.
It's magical. It's it's something that is difficult to comprehend. You can grow these first ferns and these ohia trees that start growing on the lava without any soil. Bare rock, if you want to say it, a bare, clean, very powerful life force is taking place here. You know, when we say to someone right now, do you want to grow some plants in your house? The first thing they do is go to a home shopping, Home Depot, Lowe's, Costco, and buy a plant and buy some fertilizer and then start putting seeds. All of that process is broken right now. There's nothing natural and organic about those things. A plastic planter, a chemistry infusion of toxic chemicals as fertilizer, a genetically modified seed. Right now, you're looking at a picture of pure coherent life seeding here on Earth. It's been done forever since the beginning of this planet.
Wow.
I want to know what's happening here energetically. Could I see the light from these structures?
Wow.
That's a that it's like communing. It's a kind of prayer, if you want to say meditation, to ask to the earth, show me, because I would like to tune my body, my cells, my blood, the mitosis, the separation of new person, new me. I want the new me to be as clean, as clear as possible before I leave this planet.
Well, I feel like we need to stop for a second. I don't want to.
Is that's a lot already? Okay, we'll stop the share for a second.
No, just because I, it just blows my mind.
How far
Everything.
did we go in 10 minutes?
I mean, you took me, to places that I love, but do I have the time to do that and to really think? But I think about what you said about the plants every day. And I'm going to let you get back to your flow, but I want to tell you that for the last week, I've been dreaming of lava. And now I'm making the connection. I didn't know we were going to have this talk today. So that was probably my higher self saying, get ready, but I didn't know what for. So I'm so excited. It's like, it's mind blowing for me. So I'm so thankful. Thank you. Keep going.
Get to the now. That's what I'm feeling. What's
Yeah.
happening right now in our lives? There's a new political administration running the country.
Yeah.
The energy being projected from that phenomenon, the way it's presented to us, think of it as a theater, a presentation of energy. You're watching a show. And
Yes.
these actors are coming on. The curtain opened and all these new actors came on, and you're watching it. We are no longer bystanders in this. That means we're not audience members. We're not sitting in a theater. You're in the play. You're one of the actors, and things are happening, and the body reacts with overwhelm. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is real. Is Trump real? Is Elon Musk real? Is anything that they're doing affect my life right now? Okay, I'm going to try to follow it. I'm just getting into the mindset that
Yes.
we're all in right now.
Yes.
Many of us in different levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our body reacts with, okay, I'm going to be smart about that. I'm going to follow the news. I'm going to try to follow the briefings every day that's happening. And oh, there's $100 billion here being discovered. And then there's this Epstein listing here. And then, did any of those questions have anything to do with your body? That's clarity. I'm putting with passion and clarity like a manifesto. It's almost a command. I'm commanding as a creator being on earth, as a king here on earth, as a sovereign being. I am commanding my consciousness, reeling it back in and saying that garbage, nonsense, noise has nothing to do with you, your body,
Right.
your cells, the love that you have for yourself, what you want to do on this earth, unless you want it to. And I am not going to guide my presence on this earth by those maniacs, that psychopathy that's occurring. I don't really care that much whether Trump is good or bad. I don't really care that much whether Elon is for the light or not for the light. Are they doing the right thing? They don't understand and don't know about my sovereign thoughts and consciousness. Let's get that clarity.
Yes.
If Trump wants to send me $5,000, send it to me. If they want to create, I have, and let me ask you here some clarity thoughts, because in coherence and clarity can see this clearly.
Yeah.
Did Trump say anything about your everyday well being as the number one priority? We're going to protect seniors today, and today in a week, and this is me talking for Trump and Elon, today in a week, just as fast as we can go and create problems in other places, just as fast as we can get the criminals and find the issues. Today in a week, we're going to sign the first bill so that everybody on retirement right now is taken care of times 10. We're going to multiply everybody's social security 10 times. So if you're getting 800 a month, you're going to get 8,000 a month. And that could have happened like that. Did it happen? No. We're not on the list. They're not going to consider us right now. Well, there's all kinds of arguments of why they're doing what they're doing. That's fine, but I'm working on my own thing. That's so without diving deep, I'm kind of pulling our overwhelm, our uncertainty, our chaos, pulling it right back to the human you. Okay. How's that feel?
That feels so good. And I'm so glad you brought it up because I try to always stay neutral. I don't listen to the news because it does not, I create my own reality, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're bringing that up because I want each person that listens and everybody in general to be more inward thinking than outward thinking. You know, what does it do for you? How are you deciding to take care of you? So I'm
Right.
glad you're bringing it up. Thank you.
One of the many things that I've done recently is collected in my own awareness, answering the question, how much do I know right now? You know, when you're going to go get a job, and many of us who need money right now at this age think about, well, I might have to get a job. Even if I would have made a lot of money in my 20s and 30s and 40s, even if I would have set up an IRA, even if I would have invested in the stock market, even if I would have created a company, all of that stuff wouldn't have survived this long.
Right.
Uh, I'll ask a simple question. What can you do right now that you have a very clear idea that would survive 20 years of wealth creation? There's nothing in our consciousness right now that would survive 20 years of wealth, not to mention your retirement into your 80s. There's no instrument right now. Oh, yeah, I could buy gold. Try go buy some gold right now. With what? What money are you? Where are you going to go get $100,000, $200,000 or more to go buy gold? Where are you going to get the first part of that question? Well, most of us don't have floating around $250,000 to go buy gold that may or may not. And even if you have a stack of gold sitting in front of you, it's not going to do much in terms of your health.
True.
It's what you do with that gold that is important. So that's what I'm asking those questions right now. In order for me to not only prevent me from being a human on hospice, dying on a table, or stepping into breaking down my life and my body and financially, I better get on it. It's a sense of urgency for me. So this body coherence concept started from asking, is there a place to live right now? If I go to Zillow or homes.com and look for a piece of property, and you look through the thousands of listings around you, are any of those houses, no matter what price, from $100,000, $200,000 all the way up to $100 million, are any of those houses doing anything that you want for your body? Besides the luxury and the comfort, yeah, you got a washing machine, you got the latest Miele appliances, and you got a piece of property, and you're living in a glass box. Who designed that glass box? If most people look at the catalog homes that we have available to us, follow the trail, because those in clarity can follow the detail very quickly. Who built that house? What's the name of the construction company? Well, so and so builders. What do they know about healing? Nothing. What do they know about healthy lifestyle? Not much. All they know is that they got to, when you look at the construction of a home right now, you go when they're constructing it, what do you see? Just stand back and look at it. We have particle board, particle press board, toxic. We have wood that's been treated toxically. We have Tyvek paper. You ever see those houses covered in that Tyvek paper, those rolls of paper that have the brand on them? What do you think is that crap? Formaldehyde. My house is wrapped in toxic chemicals. We already know this. There's nothing new here. But why are we not demanding something new?
Good question.
That's coherence. So, what would I have to change in order for me to have a house that heals my body? You and I have talked about this specific question from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been designing, right? Well, you would have to change the building materials. You would have to change the building codes. You would have to create a new construction industry. You would have to develop a whole new set of building materials. And it's an infinite set of changes.
Yes.
So I'm saying to myself, all right, we need to find a new civilization to live in. And where do we see the new civilization? That's why I went back to the origins of lava. Who seeded this civilization right now? Has anybody ever asked themselves that question? Who did this? Who did America? The way it is right now, this brand new civilization, we're only a few hundred years old, but we're not. We're older than that. But just the version of this country. How did we end up with New York and San Francisco as the way they look? These buildings and these technologies and these cars. Do we have that answer? We do. You just have to dig deep. So in this inquiry, once you get to the origin to the beginning, the seed, can we seed something right now? And the answer is absolutely. Is it going to take 1,000 years? I don't know. But there's a version of us that'll last 1,000,000 years. Who are you designing for? The right now or the 1,000,000 year version of you?
Mm.
These are all different questions
Yeah.
that at some point you can put together a little answer for yourself and set a plan in place and create a map for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it takes you 10 years to do it, then let's get on it. If I happen to have some openings of light, if Trump right there is out there with a crowbar cracking the existing system, that means that light's going to shine through those cracks. And I'm looking for it because I'm one of those pieces of light that's coming through that. And we are going to quickly have a reality right now where we won't have the opposition that we used to have. We're not going to have the systems that we used to have in place. And whatever's coming through right now, the new educational system, the new senior services, the new hospitals are looking for direction on how to do this. Who's going to, if you were to go to a hospital right now and give creative direction to the people who design hospitals, what would you say? Do you even know what you would say? I know what I would say. I've been thinking about it. So a big chunk of my time is spent creating those maps and that creative direction for me. And one of the answers I came up with is this body coherence direction. And this is what we're going to talk about in this course that I'll give some detail toward the end.
Yeah. Very important to start with us.
Yeah. So do we want to share a little bit more science?
Yes, please.
Let me check our time, see how we're doing. It went by fast.
Very fast. It
Yeah.
always does when you speak because it's so fascinating to me and to many others, I'm sure.
All right. Do you see this image?
Yes, I do.
This is an image of something called a Fresnel lens. It's a little piece of glass. It could also be plastic that just like a lens on a camera, on your cell phone, you have the lenses that take the pictures. Those little ones, those can be etched. You can etch those at a micro level so that when you project light, like when you have a projector and a lens and you shoot a light through and you watch a movie, what if what you were looking at was a coherence pattern, like a cymatic pattern? That when your body saw that pattern, your body would resonate a particular way. You would feel just, if you don't think any of this is real, what do you feel when you watch a violent movie? You get scared, angry, upset, sad. That's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
just what you're looking at is a particular shape of humans committing violence.
yeah,
But behind all those are pixels. If you were to zoom into a movie image where somebody's shooting somebody on the screen and you zoom in, you see all the little dots. What if each of those little dots was a particular kind of template? We have that technology right now, and it's being used against us. We never thought about the pixel level of light imaging. So anyway, right now we have the ability to create different kinds of beams of light. This is a picture of a laser beam moving through each of those little holes, a triangle shaped hole, an aperture, a square, or a pentagon, or a hexagon. And if I was to take a little beam of light and move it through one of those shapes, could you predict what the resulting image would look like? They look like those little ones at the bottom, like a star pattern with these little lines around them. Those are called coherence patterns. What if the aperture, the shape of the little opening was you? You're something that we took a picture or captured an image from your body and created a new kind of aperture, and the resulting shape was a building that you can go inside of.
Ooh,
This is the Baha'i Temple. We've just jumped several orders of magnitude of technology in this one proposal I'm putting in front of us.
wow. Hmm.
Let's take a moment to feel something. I'm going to ask a question. Just take a breath. This is for the audience. In the last year, between 2025, what we have so far, and the last of 2024, when was the happiest moment that you've had? And it could be several. You could be hiking in the forest. You could have been in, having a child, achieving something. You got that cool job, or you had a spiritual moment with God. I call those moments exalted states of creation. An exalted state, like, wow, I feel so happy and so full. What if we took a picture of that? Not of you, what you look like, but of what the energy looks like.
Wow.
And we created a building from that shape
Huh.
that you could go inside. Anytime you're sad, upset, angry, depressed, you go into your exalted state building, structure, room, and raised yourself up to that moment again.
Wow.
That's what the Body Coherence Observatory is about, the Body Coherence instrument that I'm talking about, putting you in the middle of it. And I'm showing different angles of this Baha'i temple right here, only as asking the question, what does sacred space look like when we are trying to architect it? Where do you go to have an architect create your sacred space for you? That's the field that's opening up here. The new industry, if you want to say, of sacred space creation. Our schools should be sacred space.
Definitely.
So I'm sharing some buildings from ancestry, these
Mm.
carbled stone buildings. Some of these are utilitarian, they're grain silos, but just looking at them already make you happy.
Absolutely.
You kind of want to go in there and feel what it feels like to be near it or inside of it.
Yeah.
This is the inside of the sphere in Las Vegas, that sphere projection system I
Wow.
told you about.
Yeah.
You're watching a screen that's curved all the way, almost all the way around you.
Wow.
Doesn't this look like you're watching a portal or Stargate open?
Absolutely.
This is where we are right this moment. This isn't science fiction. This is real.
So interesting.
What if what you were looking at, and by the way, they have this very sophisticated surround sound system in those, and the seat you're sitting on has its own speakers. So you're looking at a building that can project a holographic reality almost there,
Yeah.
acoustic and visual. The question is, what you were experiencing instead of a concert or electronic music or a story was you? You were looking at your own field of your exalted states of creation.
Wow.
That's what I'm inviting here. How powerful does that sound?
Unbelievably powerful. And so right on. I want to be there already.
Thank you. So these technologies have these curved projection systems. And I spent years in this world. It's called location-based entertainment. I
Hmm.
studied how these projectors work, these technologies in virtual reality. You get this immersion, right?
Yeah.
You're able to have these simulations of being underwater or traveling through space. And a lot of things happen in your body. What is your body going through while you're in these technologies? is the interesting question. This is the one in Los Angeles, Cosm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks a little different.
I didn't know about this. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a slide of a diffraction pattern. When light moves through this slide, it creates this little rainbow diffraction, right? It's a picture of a particular, showed you that little idea, aperture of a rectangle, a triangle, when light moves through it. Well, this is something more sophisticated. This diffraction pattern can create these images with these different rainbows. Our eyes do that too. Our lenses in our eyes also create diffraction patterns from the retina to from the lens all the way to the back of the retina. You're creating an image of reality. This is how powerful this is. This is how we perceive light. We see diffraction patterns on the back of our retina. This is what a pattern looks like through those little slides of a diffraction pattern, what that it could look like, this geometry.
Wow.
What if we were able to print these, custom print these diffraction patterns? Well, we already can.
Yeah.
And we were able to show ourselves love, ecstasy, creation, to teach ourselves to resonate, to show us movies of creation.
Hmm.
So let's say you were able to go into one of these dome spaces and you could see all the way around your body the rainbow patterns of you. And you would look around and other people standing in that space, you could also see their rainbow patterns around their body, 2, 3 feet, 10 feet away. What would they look like alive? And what if you put together a team of geniuses, young people and scientists and optics and consciousness and said, would we do this? How could it happen? And let's say you wrap the right funding around this. You know, the Keck telescope in Mauna Kea had multiple billions around it. You don't think we could do that kind of money to these kinds of instruments? This is what these patterns look like.
Wow.
This is a picture from this photo collection from Fine Art America of diffraction patterns. What if this was animated and live, not just an image, but it was an actual live projection of you in that state? Wouldn't it make you cry to see it? Like you're watching an angel. You're
Absolutely.
watching it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to expand that one statement. Any sufficiently advanced technology would be indistinguishable from God. Not just magic, but God. This is this technology has been shown to us many times. We see these projections as portals, as stargates.
Wow.
This is a picture of a barnacle I took in Baja California.
Huh.
As a bioarchitect, I look at this shape, and this tells me everything I need to know how to build a living building. The shapes of it, the resonance pattern, how this grows from calcites, from crystals. Barnacles are crystals. Isn't that beautiful?
Gorgeous.
And this is some of my artwork.
Wow. I love your art. It's so beautiful.
This is a painting done in digital acrylic markers, airbrush all together.
Gee.
It's called Eating from the Tree of Immortality.
Oh my God. It's gorgeous.
At the time, I was doing DMT. And this is what I saw, what I wanted to illustrate what I saw in my DMT experience. This is about 15 years ago,
Wow.
almost 20 years ago. But the intention was, could I illustrate the moment we become immortal? What does that look like? When we eat from the tree of immortality, you gain awakening and consciousness. What would you look like at that moment? What does your body look like? I did the male version too.
Oh my God. That's gorgeous.
Coming out of the tree of life, manifesting yourself, all of your 144,000 strands of DNA activated all at once, and
Wow.
you know, you become your true self. So now I'm doing the same inquiry, the same question with my own life, my own architecture.
I have to interject. We're almost out of time, and I want you to share about your course. I would love to talk to you for many hours, but on the radio show, we only have a certain amount of time.
All right. So in April, we're launching a course on body coherence. And there are going to be three modules. One, two, I'm sorry, two modules for 3 months. So there's really six modules. And I'm going to share real quickly the uh, the notes on that.
Yes.
See where I put them. One moment. Stop the share for a second. Make sure I have those up on in the screen. Oh, pues. Technology.
I know it's been acting up for me today too.
Here we go. So it starts with the understanding of the coherent human in resonant creation. When you are in coherence, the creation, the resonance that comes from you being in that state is what we're going to talk about. It starts in April 6th and it goes through June 15. 2 modules each month. They are live calls. We do a Zoom. I do a presentation step by step of consciousness science concepts and how they can be applied in your life right now. And then the second call for that month is a guided visualization. I call them quantum entanglements. Together, we're going to remote view the future, what it looks like when what we just talked about is already real. What would it look like? And we're also going to have private one-on-one calls where you and I could talk and answer your questions directly and seeing right now what you're up to. So the way to participate in this course, here's the breakdown. The second month, we're going to talk about the currency to enter attainment, the golden currency, the wealth that can flow in your life. That includes also money, but the ability to manifest and the ability to connect what you really want to have happen in your life and put that into motion. And part of this is to jump out of that overwhelmed state and start each day knowing you are on that path. And it is something that is you're creating to feel it. And the third month, we're going to talk about infinite creation and distance at an action. You've heard of action at a distance. But what does it mean to be a finite human and an infinite being at the same time and to create in this physical dimension? What could that look like to help define that?
Wow.
So I'm going to give Sharon a link to set up a free connection call with me where we just talk 15 minutes, something like that, and just know if this is right for you and get you signed up. We'll go
Wonderful.
over the cost, the time, the scheduling, everything in a quick call.
So for the audience, I know they're going to cut us off. Uh, for the audience to reach you for this, where would they go?
We're going to put a link at the bottom of this video when you publish it.
Okay, perfect.
So they can click on it, set up a call on my scheduler, and we're up and running. This
Right.
is the time this next week or so to set it up.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to get it from you and add it. And I want to thank you so, so much. I know I want to say that I'm a witness to actually having whatever uh, Fernando says, we it always works because I have created a lot of things after the classes that I've taken with Fernando. So please, please, if you have a pull towards it, follow it. Go for it. It will expand you so much, and you'll step into a different reality for yourself. Fernando, I cannot thank you enough. I love you. I appreciate the light that you are and the expansion that you bring to us. And I'm sure we'll have you on again soon.
Thank you, dear Sharon, and thank you everyone who took the time to listen to this. We're creating this now. Namaste.
Namaste.